So, we all use it, we all want it, and some of us have way too much of it. But what is money really? Is it just shiny metal, fancy paper, or a collective hallucination we've all agreed not to question? Today, we're diving deep into the surprisingly bizarre history and evolution of money, and by the end you'll either be an economics expert or slightly more confused. Either way, it'll be fun. Let's rewind to a time before ATMs, Venmo, and even pockets. Imagine trying to buy a latte with, say, 3 chickens. That's bartering, folks, and it's as inefficient as it sounds. You'd need to find a barista who's also a poultry enthusiast, and hope your chickens are up to code. Barter systems were clunky, time-consuming, and prone to arguments about the relative value of, say, a slightly used chariot versus a year's supply of turnips. This is where the need for money was born. Money was invented to solve the double coincidence of wants. Humanity, being the resourceful species we are, quickly realized that some things are just universally desirable. Enter commodity money. For centuries, money wasn't paper or coins, it was stuff. We're talking cowrie shells in Africa, salt in ancient Rome, which is where the word salary comes from, beads in North America, and of course livestock pretty much everywhere. Precious metals like gold and silver eventually became the rock stars of commodity money. They were durable, portable, divisible, and let's face it, shiny. But even gold has its downsides. Imagine trying to buy a sandwich with a gold bar. Can I get change for this ingot? To solve the gold bar sandwich problem, someone, somewhere had the bright idea of standardizing the stuff. Enter coinage. Ancient civilizations like the Lydians started minting coins, standardized pieces of metal with a specific weight and purity. This was a game changer. Coins were portable, easily recognizable, and made transactions way smoother. Governments loved them because they could control the money supply, and sometimes sneakily debase it by mixing in cheaper metals. Classic move, governments. Coins were the first real step towards making money. Well, money. Coins were great, but carrying around a sack of gold to buy a new toga was still a bit of a hassle. Enter paper money. It started as receipts from goldsmiths who stored people's precious metals. These receipts eventually became accepted as payment themselves. Boom, paper money was born. This led to the development of banking systems, where banks held reserves of gold and issued banknotes. Of course, this system had its own problems, like the occasional bank run, where everyone would panic and try to withdraw their gold at once, leading to chaos and possibly the bank going bust. It's like the financial equivalent of a Black Friday stampede, but with more top hats. Which brings us to today's money: fiat money. Fiat money, like the dollar, the euro, or the yen, has no intrinsic value. It's not backed by gold or any other commodity. Its value comes from belief. We believe it has value because the government says it does and everyone else accepts it as payment. It's a bit like Tinkerbell. Its value exists because we believe in it. This system is surprisingly stable most of the time, but it does rely heavily on trust in the issuing authority. If that trust erodes, you get hyperinflation, where your money becomes about as useful as wallpaper. But hey, at least the wallpaper won't lose value overnight. And now, money is going digital. We swipe cards, tap phones, and transfer funds with a few clicks. Cryptocurrency like Bitcoin takes this even further, existing entirely in the digital realm, outside the control of traditional banks and governments, which, depending on your perspective, is either revolutionary or terrifying. The digital age has made transactions faster and more convenient than ever, but it also raises new questions about security, privacy, and who really controls our money. Are we moving towards a cashless future where money is just data? Only time, and maybe a few more technological revolutions, will tell. So, after this whirlwind tour through the history of money, what have we learned? Money is a medium of exchange, a unit of account, and a store of value, but it's also a social construct, a reflection of our collective beliefs, and a constantly evolving technology. It's been everything from seashells to satellites, and it's shaped human civilization in profound ways. And the craziest part? We're still figuring out what it's going to be next. Thanks for joining me on this financial odyssey. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video educational.